Hi everyone. Um, just to share some of my clinical experience. Um, what setting I went in was a skilled nursing facility by Bonita, California. It was a Rio Vista healthcare center. I feel like some of the previous courses that I took on the PT program, at college, really helped me prepare for my clinical rotation at Rio Vista. The main one that I would say came back to me while I was in there were the acute care and the neuro class. They still came in handy because I needed to do a lot of bed mobility and transfer training. That I was glad I learned all of that, like bed mobility and transfer training, like the precautions and safety body mechanics, in order to just not injure yourself. Um, and then for like the neuro class, it was very important in the setting too, because a lot of the geriatrics patients that I saw had some neurological disorders that brought me flashbacks to the lectures. And like the content I learned in class that helped me better determine my interventions with this population. So I would say that if you get a chance to go over the PowerPoint presentations and practice your transference skills, especially this one, because you don't realize what a maxis patient really feels like until you are there helping them to get into a wheelchair. So you make sure you know how to position in front of them and like place everything that needs to be reachable distance, so you don't have to like pivot or like really multitask while you're there. Um, just also touching the bases with your neuro content and knowing the diagnosis and how people react to PT care. Um, it just becomes really important to provide good quality treatment for them. So you have to be like mindful of some of the diagnoses. Um, I did came across a few challenges while I was at Rio Vista. A few of them, or my biggest one was documentation, and I believe this is something that everyone could probably say too, but to me, I spent a lot of my time writing it and making sure it made sense of what I did with that patient on the day. My excuse was always that English wasn't my first language, and even writing essays has never been like my greatest skills. But I'm gonna say like after a few weeks in, my time taking doing that documentation seemed to be less every time. Um, my sentences were making more sense of what I did with the patients, and so it really just I think what it really helped me was to break it into sections and take small notes. Just like while I was seeing the patient, while he was doing some of the exercises, or after I did a few of transfer training or therapeutic activities, I'll just write them down so that I can have them in handy when I was needed, when I was going to be doing my documentation. So I think those really helped me to overcome those challenges. Um, 'Cause I came to Rio Vista not knowing what to expect from here, and so I didn't know what to expect from my CI either, or this facility in the patient population. So um, I think like the team that I was working with for the past 8 weeks was really helpful. Everyone was really great to me. The communications was just one of the parts that really amazed me the most. But it was very important to have a good connection with my CI. I think that was the biggest one. Um, I think it's just having a good connection with them, and I was seeing him as my educator. So if I needed to learn from somebody about how to do this job properly, it was going to be him. He has been there for 6 years, so he taught me a lot of things. Body mechanics, safety, communication with the nurses, and like how the insurance rolls. So it was really great to have a good communication with him so that you can run all your concerns with him. And I think he helped me improve my time management. to improve my patient interventions and to be aware of the safety for them and for myself. I gotta say I really enjoy being on a skilled nursing facility because I was able to see the patients a lot, or like for a long time, the same patient. And I believe creating a rapport, it's really important. Some of them I'll see them for at least, like most of them I saw them for at least more than 5 days. So I think that's something that it could really help to make them feel comfortable as you're working with them, get familiar with their condition and how they react to some of the treatments, and just like talking to them and hearing their concerns just makes them feel better. You need to take a look after them to make sure that if there was anything going on, that you were going to be there for them, or communicate that to the PT or the nurse in charge, so they can take care of those inquiries. While I was at Rio Vista, I needed to follow some of the protocols. So, like if one of the patients that I was seeing for a few days already, they got COVID or they got exposed to COVID, they have to be put on the red zone that had a separate area on this facility for those patients to minimize the exposure for other ones. And so as a student, we weren't allowed to see patients with COVID-19, but there were some yellow zones, they called, where you needed to wear the personal protective equipment, the PPE, and just to be safety and to reduce the exposures for those infections and virus. But I read about some recent researches that I've done with COVID-19 patients where it says that physical therapy has helped them improve, actually, like it has helped them minimize those symptoms of COVID-19, and it has helped them improve their immune system to prevent more severe or like to reduce, to help them not get more sick or to worsen their condition. But I believe more data needs to be collected from here. So don't quote me on that yet, but I think more research being done as the years pass by. I think it's a high risk to work with the patients, and you just have to be mindful of what they're experiencing too. But you don't want to make them less or feel less because they have COVID. So you can still do some exercises with them. You can still help them recover. Just make sure you are safety. You're aware of the safety nets they have to wear in order to prevent any contagious. But we'll see. We'll see what my next rotation will bring in, and I do look forward for a great experience. Thank you for watching.